morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Roberts with a special 9 a.m. edition of your Suncoast News.
Yes, and I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you so much for joining us.
Our top story today, a serious warning for everyone who lives near the Myakka River in Venice.
You could see 2 or 3 feet of flooding. That's in homes that already saw flooding just a few weeks ago. Now we have new video at 9. The Sarasota Sheriff's Office took a helicopter ride to survey the rising water on the Myakka State Park at Hidden River. Homeowners near Myakka are being asked to take precautions. And more new video from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. This new video, taken from the Sheriff's Air 1, shows that the flooding near Price and Raintree Boulevards in Northport. Some homes are surrounded by water, but it does not appear to be going into any houses.
And this is going to continue to be a concern as we go throughout the week as those local rivers and tributaries rise, something we're very concerned about. We're going to check in now with meteorologist John Scalzi, who can tell us exactly what we can expect as the week goes on with First Alert weather. John?
Good morning. Well, there was concern about still is concern about the pumps at the levee at Hidden Rivers because they weren't operating yesterday, and obviously that's a concern. I will tell you that the river forecast for the Myakka State Park looks better today than it did yesterday. We're looking at a crest of perhaps another foot that'll occur by tomorrow morning, and then we'll start to see that river begin to decrease in intensity over the course of the remainder of the week. So that's good news. This is for the Myakka River State Park, 10.5 foot crest. Right now it's at 9.79 feet, so that's good news. There are a couple other rivers I want to go through as well. The Peace River at Zolfo Springs, also another important one. There's a trailer park there behind the Walmart in Wauchula affected by this. That is the Little Charlie Creek trailer park. You know what I'm talking about. Well, you've already crested and you're on your way down, cresting at 23.85 just right now. And then as we progress to the remainder of the afternoon, you'll be coming down even further. And then we have the Peace River at Arcadia, another river that causes concern. That one, too, is on the way down, already crested. And we're going to be watching that one start to decrease over the course of the week, too. But that's going to take a little while. That's going to take a little while before it subsides. The Horse Creek near Arcadia, that was an issue for some residents, but the flooding there, a lot better than we had thought. And we're looking now at the river having crested and on its way down for the remainder of the week. In fact, it might even fall to a moderate flood stage by the end of the day today. So that would be very nice to see that, of course. So the forecast for us is kind of shaping up like this. The winds have subsided just a little bit, so that's always a good thing. They'll be coming in out of the southwest today, which does mean that it's going to be a little bit warmer. I know a lot of folks out there do not have air conditioning still. And yesterday we only hit 86 degrees. Partly because the water temperatures cooled down because of that strong east wind that we developed, kind of creating an upwelling situation along our coastline. But today the winds are going to be out of the southeast, and what that means is a little more humidity, a little warmer temperatures. We'll detail the rest of that week's forecast for you coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Certainly going to be a hot one today for those of us without power and the air conditioning out.
Absolutely.
And as crews from across the nation continue to restore power here on the Suncoast, tens of thousands of people are still in the dark this morning.
And it is not only homes, but there are still some traffic lights out as well across the Suncoast, and that may lead to big problems today with much of our area heading back to work. ABC 7's Jess Dodrick joins us live with more on Florida Power and Light's efforts this morning. Hello, Jess.
Good morning, Jacqueline and Stephanie. Unfortunately, what you're seeing behind me, dark traffic lights, are still a common sight across the Suncoast 3 days after Hurricane Irma ripped through our area. Some of these intersections have temporary stop signs up, but not all of them do. Regardless, if you come to a traffic light that is not working, you're to act like it's a four-way stop. So here's what you do. First, come to a complete stop and at any and all of these non-working signals. Then the driver who arrived first should go first. If two drivers stop next to one another at the same time, the driver on the right has the right of way. If drivers stop across from one another at the same time, the driver going straight through the intersection has the right of way. Now, if you think it's your turn, creep forward slowly. If no one else moves, go ahead and proceed through the light. Of course, scan traffic and be vigilant as you move through the intersection. Now, here are the latest power outage numbers as of 8 a.m. Sarasota County still with 87,000 power outages, and Manatee County has another 55,000. Now, if you are in a home that still does not have electric, I spoke with the store manager of the Lowe's on Fruitville Road this morning. He says they have plenty of generators if you're interested in getting one. Now, FPL officials say that they just don't know when they'll be able to restore all of the power on the Suncoast. They're hoping within the next 9 days. Stephanie and Jacqueline.
All right, thank you very much, Jess, reporting live. So power outages are not the only problems for local drivers. You may still be having trouble finding gas in our area. Some stations are finally getting fuel back, but they only have a limited supply. Unfortunately, we are being told it could take a week for supplies to return to normal levels. Now, many people stocked up on gasoline before Hurricane Irma arrived, but now those supplies are dwindling. So suppliers are prioritizing gas stations near major evacuation routes, but drivers will likely find long lines.
It's not going to be too much an issue for us. We have a couple cars and a boat, and so we filled up the boat as well, and we can siphon gas out of the boat to put in the cars if we need to.
Petroleum products are being delivered by tankers to Ports Manatee and Port Tampa. Port staff says that they never closed ahead of Irma, but the tankers themselves must pass an inspection by the U.S. Coast Guard before the gas companies can get the fuel and deliver it to the Suncoast stations. Speaking of the roadways, let's take a look with First Alert traffic. A lot of people expected to be returning home today, but right now it's a quiet trip over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. No problems there. I-75, both north and southbound, is moving well, but we do have a fair amount of traffic on State Road 70. Also on Bee Ridge and Clark roads. Remember, this is the first day a lot of people are getting out and about, getting back to work, getting supplies gathered, and trying to get life a little more back to normal. So we do expect more volume on roadways. Building volume on 41 down in Venice. But the good news is right now I-75 does appear to be moving well in both directions. Well, heads up if you know someone who evacuated and is coming back to Florida this week. There are concerns about I-75 way to our north in Alachua County between Gainesville and Lake City. Right now, I-75 is safe and passable, but the Santa Fe River is rapidly rising. It has gone up 15 feet in the past 36 hours. If that river rises over the interstate, I-75 will be shut down. Obviously, that will cripple north-south travel. Again, right now it is open and passable, but you're going to want to keep an eye on traffic reports. There is a concern for delays Thursday evening through Saturday, and obviously that will have a ripple effect. Florida 511, FL511.com, the best resource for that kind of traffic information.
Certainly is. You can get the real-time traffic updates and some of those routes that you may need to be taking that are going to be the best options when you're coming back.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of volume in the next couple of days. Yeah. Now, just ahead of Hurricane Irma, Governor Rick Scott urged millions of Floridians to flee the state.
And now those residents are returning, and many are heading back to the Suncoast today. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us live from an area off of I-75 to explain how the conditions may affect future drivers.
Good morning, Stephanie and Jacqueline. A lot of drivers are delaying their return to the Suncoast because of a gas shortage across the state. But as you just mentioned, Port Manatee and Port Tampa are back open along with other ports around the state. And today, millions of gallons of gas are coming in through Port Tampa and will be distributed to gas stations across Florida. Florida Highway Patrol has 20 troopers dedicated to fuel escorts from the different ports. The Florida Department of Transportation has already assessed major highways for damage. FDOT is working with Google's emergency response team to reflect damage and close roads through Google Maps. But you can expect some backup on all roads now that all of those Floridians who left ahead of Irma are now starting to return home.
We're taking back roads and stuff, but we're not like trying to get home as fast as we can, you know. We just be patient and let the people that are trying to get into the state to help, you know, the truck drivers and the gas, you know, give them the right of way.
And good news for those who are returning home. Tolls are still suspended as recovery efforts continue. Reporting live in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Erica. Well, students on the Suncoast, however, will not be returning to class this week. Both the Sarasota County School District and the Manatee County School District have announced that schools will be closed for the rest of the week. They will open again on Monday. September 18th rather. Part of the reason is because a lot of the schools are still without power, and also schools were serving as shelters during the storm, and there is still some cleanup that needs to be done across the campuses.
The Suncoast Blood Bank is resuming normal operating hours at all of its donor centers, and they need your help. The blood bank has been unable to cut blood or platelets since September 8th. That leaves our community blood supply dangerously low. So with many people asking how they can help with Irma recovery efforts, the Suncoast Blood Bank says platelets are the #1 concern because they only last for 5 days, so they are critical at this time. In addition to that, all blood tests, especially O negative, are needed.
Well, the emergency response team from the Sarasota Sheriff's Office is deploying today to South Florida to help communities devastated by Hurricane Irma. That's according to one of the latest posts on the sheriff's Twitter page. They tweeted this photo showing this little girl, Ainsley. Her dad is part of the emergency response team, and Ainsley, along with many neighbors, helped load her dad's truck full of essentials, including water, paper towels, and cleaning supplies. According to the tweet, the emergency response team could be gone for a few weeks.
Oh, great to see that happening.
I
There's
know.
so many people coming together, so many neighborhood posts. I think social media really at its finest right now.
Oh, of course.
For people to say, hey, they need help, and then everybody comes together.
Yeah,
So
it's
good
always great to see that.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, Sarasota County is starting to collect trash again today.
We'll have a live look at why some folks could be stuck with their trash and yard waste until sometime next week. We'll have that story when we come back.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So 75-degree current air temperature. We have a dew point as well at 75, so kind of a match. East wind coming in at about 3. It's going to be a hot and humid day today. 78 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca at 77, 75 Sarasota, Bradenton, and Parrish coming in at 76, 79 in Northport. You've got 82 degrees in Boca Grande. By the way, as long as we're looking at this map, let me just mention that as we head into the afternoon, and if you're going to be out and about and driving either east or west across the region into interior sections of Hardy and DeSoto, just be careful. 64, 70, 72, 17, all have areas where there's some standing water, and you may have to find alternate routes there. So just ease up on that gas pedal as you head inland and be aware that your drive could be disrupted by standing water. But the good news is the rivers, many of them are receding now, and we aren't going to see any additional rainfall of any consequence today or probably for the next couple of days. We do have some scattered showers out in the Gulf waters, but other than that, locally everything is very quiet. No issues here with the exception of those little areas that are still under flood advisories and warnings, some of those area rivers. We looking at a thunderstorm outlook, though, that will be increasing with time. I know there's lots of people who are still out of doors working, you know, trying to clean up their yards, get those tree limbs down, debris, whatever. Today should be fine. Should not see much in the way of any kind of a thunderstorm risk today. But the Wednesday outlook for tomorrow from the Severe Storms Prediction Center does put our area in a thunderstorm risk. So let's watch for that. There could be some pops of lightning tomorrow as our rain chances start to steadily go up. Wind around an area of high pressure in the Atlantic brings us a southeasterly wind flow today, and we continue to monitor Jose. That's right, another one out there, a hurricane. But so far, it doesn't look like it'll be a big player in our weather and even in the extended range. The southeast wind flow today will continue to funnel in moisture and humidity, and I know a lot of you folks still don't have air conditioning, and it will be a more humid day than it was yesterday. Yesterday, we only hit 86 degrees. That was a very nice thing, a nice little gift there, but I think that will probably end today with temperatures becoming a little bit warmer than that. So we have a few scattered showers possible over on the other coast, but I think other than that, our coast remains pretty sunny. I'll go with mostly sunny. Should be a nice afternoon. I don't see too much difficulty there with the exception that the temperatures will rise just a little bit, and the humidity too will start to rise with that southerly flow. And the winds have now slackened and shifted direction out of the southeast, so we don't get those really breezy winds coming in off of the Gulf waters, and of course that means that the feel of the air will be a little bit warmer without that nice breeze. We still have Jose out in the Atlantic, and that storm system still has a forecast track that's encouraging. Keeps it out into the open Atlantic away from our coastline. Shouldn't have much of a problem. Perhaps if it's still a hurricane up here, the mid-Atlantic coastline might have some surf problems or maybe some rip current problems, but for the most part, everything's looking pretty good with that. For boating today, southwest wind at about 5 knots should bring you glass-like conditions out there, smooth with just 2-foot seas. And the forecast for the rest of the week looks pretty good as well, though we will start to factor in those showers of thunder, those chances of thunderstorms. And over the weekend, we'll have a daytime high that hovers in the upper 80s. Pretty seasonable for this time of year. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, John. So Hurricane Irma created plenty of extra yard work and cleanup for many of us here on the Suncoast.
Don't we know it? Well, now that debris is certainly piling up on our curbs, and garbage and recycling pickup schedules are also running behind. ABC 7's Linda Carson is live with when we can expect some cleanup help. Good morning, Linda.
I never thought I could get so excited about garbage pickup, ladies, but this is a happy day. Manatee County is already back on their regular scheduled trash pickup, and Sarasota County starts their regular trash and recyclable pickup today. The city of Sarasota starts their regular trash pickup tomorrow. And hey, here's something that will make Sarasota city residents smile. Those big carts, you can put your garbage in it, but also, since we're all going to have a lot of things that are in our refrigerators if we don't have power to throw out, they are also going to allow you to put extra bags beside your garbage cart, and they will take those extra bags of garbage because of this storm. Now, Manatee County says they will only take the bags they will only take the garbage that is inside your cart. So don't leave any bags sitting beside your cart in Manatee County. In the city of Sarasota, they will. Now on to the debris pickup, the storm debris. Sarasota County says they will pick up the storm debris with your regular pickup if it is small, it's in bags, or it is bundled. Only in that case. The big yard pickup, the big debris, they're working on a schedule for both Manatee, Sarasota County, and the city of Sarasota. It'll probably start next week. But until then, they say separate it from your regular garbage. So if you've got a bundle like that, if you've got trash like this, separate it from your garbage cart. Do not lean it against trees. Do not lean it against posts or your mailbox. Don't leave it in your yard. Put it outside by your curb, and they'll let you know. We'll have a schedule that'll be worked out probably later on today, but certainly sometime by the end of the week of when they're going to pick that up. More good news. If you're in Sarasota County, you just can't wait until next week. You want to take the debris to the landfill yourself. They are waiving the fee at the landfill until September 23rd. So if you can get yourself a truck and load it up, you can take it out there to no fee. So we do have some good news as we work on our yards. We won't be seeing this stuff sitting around much longer. Stephanie and Jacqueline?
All right, thank you very much, Linda, and that is some good news. But boy, it's been a lot of work of raking and cutting all week long.
I've seen so many people, and hopefully this will be able to provide some good information, because so many people are asking,
what do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing people when I'm driving through neighborhoods of it just piling it up, and it might take a while for that to clear out of our area.
We'll get there, we'll get there. All right, still to come in your Suncoast News, we're going to take a look at more of the aftermath of Irma from across the Sunshine State.
Plus the latest on President Trump's planned visit to Florida when we come back.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Tell me how the day unfolds. Traffic fast, or traffic slow. This feeling is so fine, I gotta say. You're just a touch away. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I go. Whoa, go. Everywhere I go. Whoa, everywhere I go.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. With gas still out across most of the Suncoast, residents are scrambling to find more fuel.
We'll tell you when you can expect to see gas back at the pumps across our area tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
Rain chances are starting to go up. We'll let you know exactly how much rain to anticipate in the days ahead. Plus, we'll take a look at Jose.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Just under an hour ago, President Trump tweeted that he will be traveling to Florida tomorrow.
The president says he will meet with the Coast Guard, FEMA, and first responders, but he has not yet announced where in Florida he will be visiting, so we will be on standby to continue to see where he's going.
The Florida Keys took the biggest hit from Irma, with nearly every home damaged or even completely destroyed.
Take a look at this new drone video of that damage. Some areas are still cut off, but all 42 bridges across the Keys have now been deemed safe. Molly Hunter is in Naples, Florida, with a look at the cleanup and recovery efforts that have already gotten underway.
A terrifying journey for many Floridians now returning to their homes. But in the Keys, it's nearly impossible. 90% of houses destroyed and damaged.
You start over. You learn to do it again. It isn't the first or the last time, I'm sure.
Police checkpoints now set up. Residents here heading down the South Dixie Highway, but unsure what they'll find. And those who stayed and survived are the lucky ones.
I stayed in the bathroom, me and my girlfriend Donna, we stayed in the bathroom in the hallways. It was, for 2 days it was hell. You didn't know if you were gonna make it or not.
The storm's fury on full display here.
When that bigger gust came by, you could feel it like jumping, the floor jumping a little bit.
On this tiny strip of land, no power, no sewage system, and no running water. And in other parts of the Southeast, including Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, more than 20,000 DoD personnel supporting the response. Here in Florida, coast to coast and north to south, recovery in full swing. Repair crews more than 20,000 strong from 30 states and Canada working around the clock. The sound of chainsaws everywhere, even Sister Margaret Ann pitching in. But so much of Florida, hot and sticky here in September, is still living in the dark.
It's intense, but we just take it step by step, one job at a time.
And while power is being restored in certain parts of the state, nearly 4 million Floridians are waking up without power, including this area we're in right here. Officials say it could take months to restore electricity to the entire state. Molly Hunter, ABC News, Naples, Florida.
Yes, we're just starting to see some of those pictures coming in. It really makes you realize what a near miss we had here on the Suncoast. So.
Certainly. Thankfully, we were able to kind of get out of the way of that.
At least the brunt of it. Well, still to come in your Suncoast news, power is still a problem, however, across much of the Suncoast.
We'll take a look at how the outages are affecting traffic signals and how it may influence your afternoon commute when we come back.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and co-insurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
Welcome back. A look at Sarasota Bay on a gorgeous day. Lower humidity levels right now, but First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi says it's going to be a hot and humid afternoon, a tough one for people still without power.
If it wasn't for the debris and power outages, you would have never known a hurricane just came through here.
It's amazing how quickly it changes.
Well, an update now on a serious warning for everyone living near the Myakka River in Venice.
City officials say that residents can expect to see additional flooding through Wednesday night. NOAA had originally issued a warning through the end of the day yesterday, but city officials say that changing conditions have them now extending the warning. Just a few weeks ago, that same river crested and some area homes flooded. Homeowners are being asked to take precautions now before those waters rise. And flooding is still a major concern for parts of Northport as well. The city has opened up shelter at the Mullins Center for residents who can't get home.
At least 2 cars were flooded yesterday, and a firefighter was forced to get into water to get a car out. First responders have been going door to door in everything from airboats to large fire trucks, hoping to get people out.
I would say if you're going to come out here during the day, definitely wait for a vehicle to go through before you. If you have a smaller vehicle, you definitely want to wait, and definitely at night, you don't want to chance it.
A voluntary evacuation is still in place in Northport. Residents can take advantage of that nearby shelter until the waters recede.
Well, we're going to be watching all area rivers very closely this week. We'll check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, at least we have a rain-free day for now to help some of this water go away.
Yeah, that's a good thing. We're glad to see that. I was reading one of the law enforcement posts, and they were saying that one of the problems that has occurred is that there is a pump at the levee at Hidden Rivers on Manatee River, and that failed. It's not working. So there's potentially a problem there. Hopefully they can get that thing up and running and working. I will tell you that the river forecast for Manatee River State Park today is a little bit better than it was 24 hours ago. Now we're talking about a 10.5-foot rise crest as opposed to an 11 crest, 11.2 crest. So good news there. Currently, we're looking at a pretty nice sky out there, actually. The Van Wezel webcam put into motion shows a lot of blue, and you're absolutely right, Stephanie. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of rainfall potential in the forecast for today. I think we'll have a lot of that blue sky, and I guess that's kind of a double-edged sword, though, because it will lead to some warmer temperatures for those folks without AC. Okay, here is the river forecast for the Myakka River at the Myakka River State Park. Right now, currently, it is at 9.79 feet, and it is forecast to rise to 10.5 feet. So a little bit better news there for you this morning. Now, as it crests tomorrow morning, early in the morning, we'll start to see it then start to taper off as we head into the weekend. No rain around currently. That's the good news. It's all kind of dissipated. As far as the forecast for today goes, expect some warmer temperatures. Now, yesterday we hit 86 as a daytime high. I think we'll probably be able to add 2 or 3 degrees onto that as we head into the afternoon. Plus, I think we'll see less wind, and that wind, of course, is a cooling factor. I don't think we'll quite have as strong a winds today as we had yesterday. Plus, the humidity will be a little bit higher. So, you bundle all those things up together, and I think today will feel a little toastier than it did 24 hours ago. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Now, one of the largest power outages in U.S. history has more than 100,000 Suncoast residents in the dark this morning.
And the dark traffic signals are definitely causing problems on the roadways. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is standing by live with an update on what folks are running into out on the roads today. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning, Jacqueline and Stephanie. Unfortunately, what you're seeing behind me, those traffic lights that aren't working, it's still a common sight throughout the Suncoast, even 3 days after Hurricane Irma tore through our area. Now, some of these intersections have the temporary stop signs up, as you see here behind me, but not all of them do. Regardless, you're to act like every outed traffic light is a 4-way stop. Here's what you should do. First, come to a complete stop at any and all of these non-working signals. Then, the driver who arrived first should go first. If two drivers stop next to one another at the same time, the driver on the right has the right-of-way. If drivers stop across from one another at the same time, the driver going straight through the intersection has the right-of-way. Now, if you think it's your turn, creep forward slowly. If no one else moves, go ahead and proceed through the light. Of course, scan traffic and be vigilant as you move through the intersection. Now, here are some of the latest power outage numbers this morning. Sarasota County still with 87,000 power outages, and Manatee County with another 55,000. Now, if you're one of those homes that still does not have power today, I talked to the store manager at Lowe's on Fruitville Road, and he says they have plenty of generators if you need one. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Certainly something to keep in mind. I know I've been seeing people all over the place not stopping at those traffic lights and just keeping on going, and it's really causing some concern. I almost got in an accident when I went just 5 minutes down the road earlier.
You just have to watch everywhere you go right now until things get a little better back to normal.
Certainly. Well, with Irma having passed us by, thankfully, evacuees are starting to return home this morning.
But as they return, they are encountering a new set of problems. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us now just off I-75 to tell us what drivers are finding out on the expressways. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, Stephanie and Jacqueline. A lot of drivers are still delaying their return to the Suncoast because of a gas shortage across the state. But some good news today, millions of gallons of gas are coming in through Port Tampa and will be distributed to gas stations across the state. And according to AAA, gas stations along evacuation routes like I-75 are the priority. Florida Highway Patrol has 20 troopers dedicated to fuel escorts from the different ports. The Florida Department of Transportation has already assessed major highways for damage. FDOT is working with Google's emergency response team to reflect damage and closed roads through Google Maps. And some additional good news for drivers heading back, tolls are still suspended. So if you're driving on those roads, make sure to slow down during when you see those tolls, but you don't have to pay up. Reporting live in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you very much, Erica. And it's amazing now that we are running into all these problems as people come back, when the whole point of getting out was to avoid some of the problems. So
certainly,
definitely a little bit of a concern. We're going to take a look at first alert traffic since we are talking about the roadways. And outside right now, really some pretty good news. I come down I-75 southbound and I did think there was heavy volume, but we're not showing any slowdowns on the maps through Manatee County. There is one accident popping up there, so we'll see if we can get some information on that for you. It is just at, it looks like Ellington, where you would just north of Ellington on I-75. We'll see if that's causing any concerns. Also, another accident showing up in Sarasota. It looks like it is north of University there, and we'll see if we can get details on that as well. Just getting these details into the newsroom. Traffic moving well across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark roads. Increasing volume, certainly more than we saw yesterday. But the good news is the major north-south routes, 41 and I-75, do not appear to be having any major delays.
All right, well, many people are returning here to the Suncoast. However, students will not be returning to class this week. Both the Sarasota County School District and the Manatee County School District have announced that schools will be closed for the rest of the week. Part of the reason is because a lot of the schools are still without power. Schools also served as shelters during the storm, and there is still some cleanup process that needs to be done across the campuses.
And remember, Sarasota and Manatee counties have both been approved for disaster declaration. This means residents can apply for federal disaster assistance. You need to sign up now if you need help at disasterassistance.gov. There's also a link on our website with more information on how to apply, and that's at mysuncoast.com. And I also know there is a 1-800 number if you have friends without internet and power right now. You can call in, but I've heard it's a little bit of a lengthy process.
I'm
so
sure.
A lot of folks in need right now. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a family's tragic accident involving a generator leads to 3 people dead and others in the hospital.
We'll tell you how it happened and what officials are warning homeowners of this morning. We'll have that story when we come back.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it's something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Well, as people work on cleanup, garbage has started to build up, but the debris has yet to be cleared.
Sarasota and Manatee County homeowners are also running into issues with their perishable foods. Our Linda Carson has more on what people on the Suncoast need to know. Linda, a lot of trash being generated these days.
A lot of trash, but Stephanie, happy days are here again. If I could jump up and click my heels, I would, because all this garbage and debris is going away. And like you mentioned, there's a lot of extra garbage. You can hear just nearby the sound of a generator. They're going all over the area. A lot of food is spoiling in a lot of refrigerators. And if you're like me, mine's beginning to smell. Well, it won't be around much longer. Sarasota County resumes normal collection schedule today. Manatee County already back on their regular schedule collections, and the city of Sarasota starts regular collections tomorrow. This good news from the city of Sarasota. You see that cart over there where you normally put your garbage? Okay, put it in your cart, but all that stuff in your refrigerator, all that extra garbage you've got, you can put extra bags out beside your regular garbage cart, and the city of Sarasota will take them. Manatee County says they will only take what is in that cart, so don't sit any extra bags out there. Now, for the collection of the storm debris. The storm debris, that's going to start next week probably. They're making a schedule right now, but they need you to get ready for it. We'll let you know as soon as that schedule is available. Now, if you're like these people and you can put the storm debris in small bags or in bundles, Manatee County will take it on your regular day. Otherwise, if you've got bigger and it's not bundled and it's not in a bag, then they're going to take it. They will let you know the schedule very shortly, but it will be next week. But you've got to put it by the curb, not in your driveway. They're not going to take it out of your driveway. They're not going to take it out of your yard. It's got to be by the curb. It cannot be against a tree or a post or a mailbox or a garbage can. So it's got to be standing alone so they know that it is the debris. And if you're in Sarasota County and you just cannot wait until then, and you can get yourself a truck, you can take it out to the landfill. The fee at the landfill is waived until September 23rd, so thank goodness there is a way to get rid of this stuff, and it's not going to be around much longer. Isn't that good news, guys?
That is amazing news. And you were right about the smell, Linda. I mean, so many of us, unfortunately, have had to get rid of perishable foods.
I know.
It's not pretty in the garbage can.
Yeah, when you open the fridge, sometimes you're like, okay, should have just kept that closed.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that cleanup help is on the way. And it looks like Mother Nature is helping us out a little bit as well.
Certainly. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi.
You know, I think this is something to really realize, too, is those trees that some of them have come down. Well, those might have not have been your best choices to plant in the first place. They might have not been hurricane friendly. There might be a lot of dead branches out there as well. So in part, this helped thin out some of the dead wood. Plus, if some of your trees did fall, you might consider replanting with some of these. They've been shown by the University of Florida to be hurricane-friendly trees, which will actually block and absorb some of the wind energy before it actually attacks your home. So maybe a live oak. We got both sand and southern live oaks. Excellent choices, sturdy, good root structure. Bald cypress, the sable palm, and the crepe myrtle, beautiful tree. All of those should be planted at a distance far enough away from the home that it's at least the length of the height that the tree will grow. So in case that tree tumbles, it doesn't land on your roof. Good choices there. Current conditions, 75 degrees at the airport with the dew point coming in the same at 75. So it feels kind of thick and humid out there. Lots of sunshine and an east wind blowing at about 3. We'll see that east wind shift southeast today, and that'll kind of pump back the moisture just a little bit. Not a whole lot of rain shower chances for us today. Maybe in the southern tip they'll see a few scattered showers, but I think here locally we're going to see a lot of sunshine as some drier air has filtered in around an area of high pressure located just to the north, which is going to provide us with some very pleasant conditions. We have a trough located back to the west. That's kind of instrumental because eventually it will take Jose and kind of steer it out of here into the open Atlantic, but not before it does kind of a weird loop-de-loop out there in the Atlantic, which will give, I think, a lot of folks in the mid-Atlantic some concern as it gets a little bit closer. But all computer models continue to suggest that won't be a problem. Southeast wind, that develops today. That brings us a little more humidity, kicks off a few showers, particularly on the other coast. We might see a passing cloud or two later in the day because of it, but in general, we'll be looking at mostly sunny conditions. Nice afternoon, though a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid. And those winds have slackened just a little bit. Well, that's great news for boaters, but I think a lot of us who didn't have air conditioning, enjoyed that wind that we had yesterday, kind of stirring things up and making it cooler. There's Jose. Look at that explosion of thunderstorm activity. The good news is Jose, located still a good distance away from the state of Florida, has a forecast track that continues to just do strange things in the short term, looping it all over the place. But then in the long term, as it approaches Florida and the East Coast, kind of sends it north and then shoots it out into the hurricane graveyard. So good news there. The official forecast track from the Hurricane Center kind of duplicates that. Still a hurricane forecast to do a loop-to-loop, and then by about Saturday or so, take that trek that puts it way out into the Atlantic so that by Sunday or Monday, it's definitely on a course that takes it further away from the United States. Love that. Forecast for today, nice for boating. Glass-like conditions out there on the waters. Southwest wind developing at about 5 knots will bring you smooth conditions and 2-foot seas. Nice stuff. Forecast for the rest of us for the remainder of the week shows increasing chances of showers and thunderstorms and daytime highs that top out seasonably. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. 2 adults and 1 child are dead after a generator was used inside an Orlando home during the power outage.
Orange County Fire Rescue found 6 people suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning symptoms. A sheriff's office spokesman said 2 people were dead inside and the 3rd did make it outside but also died. 4 other victims were taken to the hospital for advanced life support. Authorities are unsure exactly when the generator was inside.
It's probably there right now. I do not know what state that generator is in, if it's out of gas or where it is, but apparently it was running, and it was running inside the house at some point.
Cases of carbon monoxide poisoning were also reported Tuesday in 2 other central Florida counties yesterday, and that's such a big thing that we want people to pay attention to. Do not leave those generators inside.
And one of the leading causes of death following a natural disaster like this are generator issues.
I believe it.
Definitely have to be careful.
Well, Hurricane Irma left a devastating swath of destruction across thousands and thousands of miles.
CNN's Sarah Ganem has more on evacuation and recovery efforts from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Just days before Hurricane Irma, a Caribbean paradise, the U.S. Virgin Islands, now in the throes of tragedy. These images come from the island of St. Thomas. Buildings leveled, utility poles broken in two, boats ripped apart and scattered through once lively streets. Irma made landfall on this island last Wednesday as a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest to hit the island in modern history. To show you just how severe the damage here is, this image shows what the islands looked like from space before Irma, blanketed with lush trees and vegetation. After Irma, brown with despair. From the ground, here is what St. Thomas's Cancer Center looked like, and here is what it looks like now. Barely recognizable, gutted. This was the Sugar Bay Resort and Spa overlooking Water Bay. These images are what the resort looks like now. One viewer sent in this image of his property on St. Thomas before the storm. Now it looks like this. Like many homes, his kept its roof, but many trees surrounding the home are gone. News out of the islands has been slow going following damage to communication systems. The U.S. National Guard has been performing search and rescue by air. And the U.S. Navy has evacuated dozens of people with medical needs from the islands and delivered more than 17,000 pounds of food, water, and medical supplies. A number of cruise lines, including Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, are deploying empty ships to get people out. But all those who call these islands home have a long and difficult path ahead of them. Sarah Gannam, CNN, St. Thomas.
Wow, just devastating pictures there.
Heartbreaking for those islands. I love the fact that the cruise ships are sending empty ships to help evacuate, because if you think about it, I mean, all those ports are destroyed. So there's going to be a lot of rerouting going on. It's nice to see them pitching in to
We were
help.
all sitting here watching some of those images and just in astoundment.
Yeah, the satellite picture is really, really amazing. Still to come here on your Suncoast News, foster kids are kicking back and having a little fun this morning in a massive hurricane shelter.
We'll show you how this 27,000 square foot mansion was used to keep dozens safe during Hurricane Irma when we come back.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
It's not just a donation.
It's a warm blanket.
It's a bottle of clean water.
It's a roof and a bed.
It's knowing someone cares.
It's feeling safe.
You said today that's better than yesterday.
Every dollar you can spare helps so much more than you can imagine. Please donate now. Your help is urgently needed.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
This Irma cleanup video from Miami is getting a lot of buzz on social media. This is Sister Margaret Ann. She took matters into her own hands with a chainsaw to help cut down some limbs. She said she did not think twice about jumping in to help out, though she said she isn't going to make it a habit.
Good one.
Thank
you. Good one.
Talk about the ultimate sleepover. Dozens of foster kids who spent the last few nights in a hurricane shelter are now kicking back in a mansion in Boca Raton.
Nice. Well, Terry Parker shows us how this is all working out.
Backpacks litter the entry hall of Mark Bell's $30 million mansion. And 70 kids are living up in his special game room.
12 noon, we got a call from the CEO of SOS Children's Village saying they were thrown out of the 2 shelters they were in and they needed a place to go.
Bell is on the board of the SOS Village. He said the kids could come stay with him and his wife, Jennifer.
Wow. It was definitely, but it's more of they're so grateful just for people opening up their homes.
There's something for every child here, whether it be TV, doll babies, or games like pool, air hockey, and vintage arcade games. These kids are playing the same type of games that Bell says he played as a child.
So to watch kids now play them, 40 years later, it's a great feeling.
For Tuesday night, they're going to be introduced to the Star Trek home theater room. And some of them will actually sleep in the theater lobby among all the memorabilia.
It's a fun room. It's meant to have fun for adults and our own kids. And now they're getting the same pleasure out of it that we get out of it.
I love that the kids are welcome and that he said they can stay as long as they need to.
I know, that's pretty awesome. Good for them.
We'll have more on Irma aftermath and recovery across the state and the Suncoast coming up in our noon newscast.
Stay with us. We'll see you then.